Evil Dead Rise. In a Los Angeles apartment building, two sisters battle bloodthirsty demons that have come out of an ancient book. This film is the fifth installment in the Evil Dead franchise, but it's not necessary to have watched the other four to appreciate this movie. The story itself is interesting, dramatic, disturbing, distressing, shocking, exciting, grotesquely bloody, and terrifying. This is one of those movies that keeps you on the edge of your seat and glued to the screen. From the very beginning, this film prepares you for the horror you're about to watch and feel as the story unfolds. Trust us, what we say is not at all exaggerated. For many film critics, this is one of the few new movies that can really be considered horror and that gives to the viewers what they want to watch in a production of this genre. So, if you want to watch a shocking, terrifying, and grotesquely bloody film, this is the movie to watch. As for the production elements, it's worth highlighting the special effects, makeup, settings, and cinematography for being very good. The performances of the entire cast are in themselves very good for being believable and convincing in their respective roles. In short, we liked this movie. It kept us entertained and distressed from start to finish, and is good. For that reason, we give it a score of 3 stars out of 5. We recommend that you watch it if you are looking for a good horror movie to watch. Fear the Invisible Man. A young British widow takes in an old medical school colleague, a man who has somehow become invisible. As his isolation grows and his sanity weakens, he commits a series of murders throughout the city, and she's the only one who knows he exists. This new adaptation of the novel The Invisible Man by H.G. Wells has a story that is a bit more faithful to the novel compared to other previously made productions. Even so, for us this film seemed somewhat slow, that is not scary at all, with some predictable elements in its plot that, although not a bad movie to watch, does not fill you completely. In all honesty, this production is, so to speak, a movie that you can watch while cooking, and you won't miss much because of how slow the story progresses. The production elements such as the costumes and cinematography are decent, but the special effects are average and do not stand out at all. On the contrary, it's evident that they were made with a low budget. In regards to the performances, these are generally acceptable. In summary, we find this production average in its entirety, so we give it a score of 2 stars out of 5. Watch it if you have nothing better to do or to watch. Nefarious. On the day of his execution, a convicted serial killer receives a psychiatric evaluation during which he claims to be a demon, and further states that before his time is up, the psychiatrist will commit 3 murders. This film is not for everyone, since the theme it explores is purely a religious one, and that could be a plot not very interesting for some viewers. On the other hand, the story consists of the interaction between only the 2 main characters of the movie, who are the psychiatrist who goes to prison to evaluate a convicted serial killer to see if he is mentally sane to be executed, and the convict who wants to prove to the psychiatrist that he's a demon. So, this interaction between just 2 characters throughout the film may be something boring to watch for some. At first, we thought it was going to be a boring movie, but it wasn't. Thanks to the good performances of the two main characters, especially that of the actor in the role of the convict, this original and ingenious story unfolds well and intrigues you from the beginning, keeping you interested until the end. In all honesty, everything exposed and said during the conversation between the psychiatrist and the convict made us think and reflect on the theme explored in this film. So, we liked this movie and found it to be good to watch. That's why we give it a score of 3 stars out of 5. We recommend that you watch it if you haven't done so already. The Devil Conspiracy. A satanic sect steals the Shroud of Turin to obtain the DNA of Jesus Christ, and in this way offer it to the Lord of Darkness. However, the Archangel Michael descends to earth to prevent evil from being triumphant. This film has a story that we found it to be interesting and original in its own way because of the subject matter it covers. It made us think if it's really possible with the current advances in science or in the not too distant future to be able to obtain the DNA of Jesus Christ from the Shroud of Turin and from that sample bring him back to life. Can you imagine if it's actually possible? Obviously, this possibility is assuming that the Shroud of Turin is real, which is a topic of discussion not to be discussed by us in this video. So, the story intrigues you from the beginning, story that unfolds in an acceptable way, but there are some slow, predictable, and weak parts in its plot. Even so, the story and how it unfolds throughout the movie keeps you interested and entertained enough to watch it until the end. What we didn't like very much about the film were the performances of some of the cast members. Performances that are average and even bad, who spoil the movie. At least some of the main actors act in a decent way. Production elements such as the special effects, makeup, and set designs are usually average, but not bad. In summary, we found this movie entertaining, but due to the shortcomings mentioned, we found it average in its entirety, and that is why we give it a score of 2 stars out of 5. It's worth watching if you're looking for something at least interesting to watch, and if you like movies about angels on Earth.